Biblical meditation from the book of Isaiah chapter 53. Let us see together how beautiful these words are and how high it applies to our Lord Jesus Christ and cannot be applied to Israel as a nation, who has believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He has no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. These two verses tell us about the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has believed our report. This report either declared by the prophet and his disciples, so we can understand the third person using it in the song, or it means the gospel which has been declared by Jesus' disciples and the apostles, as the Bible says on the tongue of the Apostle Paul in the epistle for Romans. For Isaiah said, Lord, who has believed our report? Paul said that not everyone obeyed the gospel. So if we say that the speaker here is Isaiah and his disciples, who say, who believed our report, that means who believes that we has been declared. Or if the speaker here is the people, so who believed our report hence means who believes that has been declared among us. So the proposition that says that the subject of this chapter is the nation of Israel, not the suffering servant Jesus Christ, is not valid, and I think it is irrelevant. We come back to the second half of the first verse, where we can read, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? The term arm of the Lord is a Hebrew idiom for power, and this question is a rhetorical question, so its answer, no one. No one has believed our report. No one saw the power of the Lord in the lowly first coming of Christ, born in a stable in the little town, not in a palace in the glorified city. Of course, no one as an answer for the rhetorical question is not absolute or totalitarian, but it is exaggeration and hyperbole, because Paul said not everyone obeyed. There was people who accepted the gospel and there was majority who refused. That refusal because of the lowly first coming of Christ. His coming was in a scene of weakness and poverty, lived in humility. So the second verse takes us to another level on the ladder. This book prophetic, but contained many poetry, stanza, and paragraph. Isaiah wrote as a poet, and one of the features of the Hebrew poetry is ascent, which builds the idea from the current verse to the subsequent one. In the second verse we read, he shall grow up before him as a tender plant. In Hebrew, grow up vayal, and tender plant yoniq in Hebrew. So the meaning, he shall grow up as a sprout of the ground, tender, weak, green, and fresh. The dry land is not the land which gives the tender plant and vigorous freshness plant. It was the land of thirsty. It was Israel, the stubborn. In Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 1, we can see another picture in contrast to the current picture here in Isaiah 53. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow up out of his roots. The word which was translated to root in Isaiah 11 is the same Hebrew word here in Isaiah 53, cherish in Hebrew. But the word rod and branch mention to stability and strength, in contrary to the word sprout, yoniq in Hebrew, which implicitly mean weakness. Suddenly and unexpectedly, from the dry land to grow up the Messiah. But he was not dressed the clothes of glory and majesty, but he was born in a stable in the little among the thousands of Judah, Bethlehem, and was raised up in the despised in Galilee, Nazareth. These two verses talk about the first coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, when he, the eternal God, the Word, came in the flesh in humility, kenosis, empty himself. He was raised up and lived without the glory of his divinity. But although he was a humble man, these two verses tell us that he offspring of the great King David, but also the root of David, Lord of David, the no existence of David without him.